again. Welcome to a special afternoon edition of the Play Space Live. Keith Avalon from Play Games. Sam is, as usual, running the board. And special guest today, Mike Fitzgerald, a friend of Play. Hello, Mike.
Yes, hello, Keith. And yeah, a really good friend of Play. I do sports sim games all the time.
Mike is a well-known game designer in his own right. He has designed Mystery Rummy and Diamonds and just a number of different games. Dragon Island.
Yes, and
the list goes on.
Highlights,
baseball highlights. Yeah, I wanted to stay away from the sportsman's bit because that's the one you're really well known for recently. But Mike has designed a game called Scorecards, which is what we're going to be taking a look at today. It's a game that we're really excited to release at our Play Now brand. We've been. How long have we known each other? I think I met you in about 10 years, about a decade.
Oh, at least it was
World Board Game Championship.
World Board Game Championship
2013
in Pennsylvania, and I just drove from Jersey over there.
So we've known each other for a while, and since we started this game company, it's like we got to get Mike to do a game for us, and finally that is happening with Scorecards. And here is the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the game. We'll do a little unboxing here, and then the game is not available yet. In fact, it won't be available for a little bit of a while. We're going to make it available at Dice Tower West, which we'll be visiting in Las Vegas in March, and then we'll have it. We've sort of got a general release penciled in for June, something like that.
Yep.
But so the game is not available now. It's not even on the website right now, but we'll give you a sneak peek at it today. We'll do a little unboxing, show you the components, and then we'll show you how the game plays. It is I don't know. Well, we'll talk about the game after we unbox it, but is I guess mostly akin to like Uno. It's kind of a numbers-based card game, and I'll leave it at that until we actually get a look. So let's go to the table cam and take a look at our Scorecards box. Are we on?
We are.
All right. So here's the box. It comes with the sleeve, the classic Play Now box. We have our Scorecards game rules. We'll open that package up first. There's also score sheets in there. So
Not a long rule book.
No, it's not. And what would you say is the perfect length for a rule book? I mean, I think this comes pretty close.
Well, yeah, this is like what? This is maybe the perfect. It's 8 is the shortest you can imagine, and it doesn't even use all 8.
Yeah, it's got lots of
rules.
lots
Got
of white
different
space.
variances of different ways of playing. This game, I was just trying to think of how long I've actually been designing this. It started off 7 years ago and I wanted to pay homage to the game of cribbage, which Keith and I both enjoy.
Great game.
A lot of
Yes,
people know
classic.
how good cribbage is. It's a little dated in some of the ways it works, but I thought to myself I could make a very general, accessible version, easy to learn but deeper in how you're playing. That would be interesting. Well, so I stuck for several years. I stuck with cribbage as the real model, and it was very similar. After a while, I began to see, I can make this a better game. I have to leave cribbage a little bit behind to do that. So now, and we'll point it out, there's like one thing in the game that's similar to what you do in cribbage. But the idea was a game that's very simple for anyone to play with anybody else. Whole family can play. Age is fine.
And it could be
Casual players, serious
2,
players.
3, or 4 players.
2, 3, or 4, and you can play with actually more than 4. If you have a few extra copies, you can do everybody playing a 2-player game and sort of a round robin and then a playoff, that kind of thing. But I wanted to appeal to the hobby gamer too. So what took the longest time was finding out how to make this whole score thing work. So I'm very happy because I've been with it so long, and I know this when I started the final version and found what I think is the answer. It opened it up completely, and it's really a pretty interesting game now. So those are the cards.
Yeah, let's look at this. So the cards are in 4 different colors and 9 different numbers.
1 through 10.
10 different numbers.
In each color, there are 20 blue cards. So blue has 1 through 10 twice. Green, yellow, and red have 1 through 10 once. So that makes your 50-card deck. every card scores differently. Not only does it score differently from every other card, but every time you score it, you can have a different result. So it's not like you're playing cards that have a score on them. Well, look at a card here. You can see these cards, right? So every card will have a number in the upper left, and it will have a color in the background and the name of the color in the upper right. In the middle of the card is a box that has how this card scores. So in the game, when you play a card, you're playing 5 cards for each round of the game. You play them one at a time. You'll play your card. That's the only thing you refer to on the card. You just read how it scores. And you're not ever going to look at that again. You're only going to be looking at and evaluating it when you play it. And then you'll score and write your score down, draw a card, move on. So when you play a card, here's one that says 3 points for each card in a group of all reds. So you get to look at the card this is on. So you'll look, this is a green card. Well, so that's not going to score for itself, as we say. But you'll look at every other card you have in play, your opponent has in play, and the starter card, which is the one thing that's a little bit similar to cribbage. You have a card that you turn up after you deal that is going to be used by both players in this, but only for its color and number, unless you have the card that says score the starter card. That's the only time you look at that part that scores. So we have a couple of different ways, different categories of cards that score. There's runs. There's cards that are looking for just one card or some relationship between itself and one card. And then we have the most of the cards are a group kind of scoring. They're looking for a group of cards that have one thing in common, whether it's the same number.
Right, and the little graphics on the card sort of give a hint as to what kind of a card it is. This is the graphic for cards that score in a run.
Right, yep.
This is the graphic with cards that score with groups of cards. And this is like sort of the catch-all graphic for, this one scores 5 points and an additional 5 points if it was played right after a red card.
So those are looking for one other card or one combination that's not too difficult.
And the number down here, that is simply a card number. It has nothing to do with gameplay, except to decide who goes first.
You can use it for that, yep, and you can keep track. Some people like to because part of the game is making the single highest score from one card you play. You get a victory point, an additional victory point, if you have the highest score between the two of you. If they're tied, nobody gets the point. So we have an interesting way of scoring. As I found in play testing the game a lot, there's a lot of ways you can play this. We picked something that I enjoy a lot, and play testing has proven it's certainly fun. But there's also blank cards. You can start making your own cards or coming up with your own ideas once you get used to the game.
The how-to folks will love that. Well, let's go ahead and play a little bit of this.
Yes, let's do that.
So I got to shuffle. I'll go shuffle one more time for good measure.
Yep.
We'll deal out 5 cards for each of us.
Yep.
And I wonder if we should explain this. No, let's just explain the game explain the game first, and then we'll explain how it scores and how
we'll
how
do
you
all
win.
that. Yeah, we'll do all that.
We each
later.
get 5 cards.
Yep.
3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and this will be our starter card.
Yep. So red 10 up there, which is all that's really going to matter.
Now,
how it scores will only matter if you're playing a card that says score the starter card.
So let's just play a sample, not even a full hand.
We'll
we'll
play
both show our cards.
turns open. Now, Keith did the shuffling and the dealing, the initial deal. So he's the starter, the star player. So he's going to play first.
I will go first. This card will be part of my hand. Now, of course, these cards are in our hand. Nothing's been played except this for right now. I'm sure we're all on the camera.
And I'll also explain something.
Okay.
That the first player to play is only going to be looking at the card he plays and the starter card. So that the next person is going to be looking at both those cards as you start to play cards and go up.
So I see a red 10. This matters nothing to me. So I'm looking at what do I have that might score best. I can score the number on the last card played, which would be a 10, right?
That's your best play.
That's going to be my best play probably. But just for the sake of discussion,
sure.
I would get 2 points for each card in the group of blues. There's no blues right now.
Right.
4 points for each card in the group of all threes. There's no threes right now.
Except that one.
Except the one that I would play. Yeah. So I would get 4 points for that. This card, if I play this, if there are more even numbers than odd numbers, I'd score 8 points. Well,
There would be, so that's an 8-point play.
that would be an 8-point card.
But the 10 might be better. I don't
10,
know.
right.
But this is tricky because it may not be the case 3 plays later when you want to play it.
Exactly. So what Mike is saying is, like, let's say a couple of odd cards come out. All of a sudden, this card's not worth anything. So it might be to my advantage to play this now and then hope that I could get another high card like
Yeah.
a 9 or 10 and
Sure.
then play this one. But I'll go ahead and play this.
Okay.
Because it is the highest point that I can get right now, and I'll score 10 points for that. The
Okay.
number on the last card played. Now it'll be Mike's turn.
So he's playing this green one. So right now when I play, I'll look at the card I play, the green one, and the red 10. So what I'm going to do here, that would be some.
Well, explain what that was.
Yeah, this is 2 points for each card in a group of numbers that are all 6 or less. So there's 2 of them there. Wouldn't get that one. So it could
That'd
be
be 4
better
points.
later. I know this card can be pretty good when there's a lot of cards out. So 4 points for each card in a group of all green even numbers. Well, the only green is odd right now, so it would score itself. 4 points is not terrible. 4 points for each group in a group of all 6s. Ooh, so right now here's a combination, right? Both these are 6s. If I played this one second, I'd be getting 8 points, and who knows? Maybe you'll have a 6. You'll play something.
Well, I do,
But
I
yeah.
do have a 6.
Yeah,
actually.
I wouldn't normally know that.
He
at this
wouldn't
point,
know that, right?
but,
But he could surmise that I might.
But here is what I like to play in this situation. I'm going to play this card, turn over, and this is one of these cards that scores that's just looking for a very simple, like this one. So the cards that have this pyramid kind of shape on them are looking for one card, one specific situation. So you turn over the top card of supply, score points equal to the number on that card, then put it at the bottom. So I get 2 points. So
He sounds very happy about that,
Yeah.
but I know that he wouldn't be, because that's probably the lowest point. He was hoping for like an 8 or a 9 or something like that. That's what you'd hope for with that card, right?
Sure, but I'm actually pretty happy with that.
Oh, okay. Well,
with this game, because now there are still things that can happen. I've got some things that are possible.
So when you play a card, you draw a
you
card. to
draw another
replenish it.
card. Now I'll mention you're going to see what happens with these cards at the end of the round, but you will have 5 cards left because you're only playing 5 cards. But we're going to do something with those 5 cards.
Okay, so scanning my numbers, I see. Looks like if I play this 8 now, there will still be more even numbers than odd numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now.
Okay.
And that would give me 8 points.
8 points. So keeps off to a good lead, 18-1. Sounds pretty good. To
So
me.
once you can play one
Or
more,
what did I get? I got 2 actually. Sorry.
and then I'm going to pick
And you
another
draw.
card.
Yeah, we'll just make sure we keep our cards separately. Like if you were playing opposite each other, you'd have
Right.
a line left to right. You normally play them because it's important to know what the last card played.
Now I'm showing my cards. Mike is hiding his. He's not. She's not.
Oh, I'm just used to that. Okay, I think I'll get this one out there.
Go ahead and play one more
What
card. Then we'll
it is.
shuffle them up and play a real hand.
Okay,
Because
so
people will get the,
yeah, right.
People will get the idea. How
They
this
will.
works.
4 points for each card in a group of all green even numbers. Well, there's only one. It's the one I played. It's 6, right? So that's the group. And I would get 4 points for that play. And then I would draw a card. And again, you continue. Now, let me just say something really quick as we
And I know what you're going to say, but
reset this. When you draw a card, well, yeah, I'll do it as we reset this. You can shuffle this all up, Keith.
All right.
And be, Keith will be the first star player. When you draw a card, you're going to look at it in 2 ways. You're going to play 5 cards. You're building up another hand as well of cards. That'll be 5 at the end of the first round. So for the second round, you've got your starting cards. So as you make the decision to play what's best that round, you're going to be keeping in mind, can I get a combination going that might start something good for the next round? And that's, I find, when we started doing that is when the game really opened up beyond what I had thought. I thought it was going to be a very simple kind of a game where where a serious gamer could play it pretty automatically. Not so. So this game is as deep as you want to get. So
Right.
I know friends who they only concern themselves with that current hand. They'll put any card they draw into it to make it score more. Others will sort of say, maybe this has a better chance of scoring with different cards next hand. Or what I like to do sometimes is you see a card that you know could score a lot, the cards are based on having a range, and some of them have a pretty high range, but they're harder to get that range. But if you think two things, you think, well, maybe I'll get it, and maybe I don't want to put this back into that deck that's going to get shuffled for the next hand.
Right.
Because I might score a lot, but now it's available for the other players too. So maybe I'll just save that card, and I can end up saving it for the whole game. Like if it's 4-round game, you're playing 4 rounds, and then you have 5 cards left. They go away. The game's over. So I might want to kill a couple of cards, you call it, for that game. So there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's a really flexible game for different kind of game styles. Like Mike is a gamer, and he's a plotter, and he will look at those cards and think, here's what I could do now, but what might I be able to do later? When I play a game like this, it's like, what can I do right now? I feel like 8 points now is better than 10 points I might get later. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to go for what might I get. It's like, what can I get right now? So it's a different way of playing the game, but either way works. It's a very flexible game for however you like to play
yes.
card games, whatever your risk level is. All right, so let's go ahead and start. There's our red one, and I'm going first.
So just so you know, this is the center. So
okay, so go like this. So we're still in the game, the table cam then?
Yeah, we're on the table cam.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, good.
So there's our starter card.
And you can go there, left to right, and I'll go here, left to right. So.
All right, so now when we're playing this in real life, there's moments of silence as we're thinking about our cards. So
I'm going to add some things.
We're going to try to fill those. But
those. I will be able to fill those as people are thinking. So the cards are designed so there are cards in the game that are better early in the game, meaning they don't need a lot of cards to score pretty well. So you want to look for those early. And there are other cards that probably won't score much until you get a chance to get a lot of something out there. So you're hoping that appears somehow. What the interesting part of it is, it's not just what you play, it's what your opponent has played. So it's all being
Speaking of playing, I'm going to play this card. It's the best that I feel like it's the best that I can do. Probably revealing more than I need to in a card game. But I'm going to get 5 points. In addition, I'm going to change the number of any one card on my next play. That may or may not help me, but the fact that it may help me is pretty much the reason why I played it. And the fact that it's a 5-point play is probably the best that I can get right now. So I played my card. I will draw another one.
Okay, I'm going to play first. That doesn't happen there. Okay, I'm going to play this one. It says 4 points for each card in a group of all yellow even numbers. So there's 1, which is the card I played, and that's 4 points. So to me, that's an okay first play when I'm saving up and I'm building for other things. And there are 5 of each number in the game because you have 2 blue of everything, the 2 1 to 10s, and you have 1 of the rest. So the total for that could score if you waited and got every other 6 goes out somehow will be 20. So I'm giving up 20 possible points to play as your 4 and save some things that I hope are going to do better later.
All right. This is a card I'm going to play that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it hopefully will next turn. So it's score the highest number on a green card. Well, there aren't any green cards out there.
Correct.
So I'm not going to get any points for that.
That's right.
I have to take a 0.
But
I'm setting myself up for the next turn.
Now, there are times you do take a 0.
You don't want to take a 0, especially me. I hate taking a 0.
Do you want to show that score sheet real quick, just so people kind of know what we're...
Does this show it at all?
Yeah, that's on screen.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't cover the cards, though.
Yeah, so the score sheet is very simple. What you do is simply put in a box the number of points you scored for that play. So here's turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kind of like how many runs you got in the inning, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like a sport. That's why, it feels a little bit sportish, I think, in his presentation.
So it's the bottom of the second,
play.
and Mike is playing.
Exactly.
He's down 5-4.
So you finish your 5 plays, and then you put the total there. You'll score a victory point for having your most points for the round, and you'll also score a victory point if you are the player who got the single highest score in one card play. So we're going to circle that for each of us at the end and see who's got the most. That's an extra victory point.
Which is an interesting mechanic because what it means is if you can play for that one big play, it makes up for a whole 4 other cards of
Yeah.
nothing. You know,
Yeah,
you can
so-
make it all up with that one play.
So there are 2 victory points available for each hand. If there's a tie in either of those things, you wouldn't get that victory point. Would not be awarded.
Okay, you
And-
need to play a card.
Yes, we do. And I'm going to play. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this card. So 4 points for each card in a group of all 6s.
Ah!
So now you can see the 3 6s. So for the play of that one card, it's going to be 4, 8, 12. So I just got a 12-point score, which is a little better.
Okay, so
Four.
I'm going to kind of pull back the curtain here just to show you my strategy. So what I was going to do was play this card, which would be 4. I hope you can see it. 4 points for each card in a group of numbers that totals 10, and I would have played it here, 6, 3, 1. So that totals 10. Would have given me 12 points. However, he just scored 12 points. So I am going to try. I'm going to hold off on that and try to get
Oh,
a
boy.
4th card in there so that I can get that victory point. I normally wouldn't reveal that, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think you see where I'm going with that.
Yep.
Because the 12 points doesn't really do me that much good now, since he's already scored 12. So what's my next best play? Most of these are runs, unfortunately, and I think that
Those are great cards to save for a later hand. if
I
you
got to
don't
play the
think,
supply card.
Okay.
So this one is kind of a crazy card. It's like a push your luck kind of card. If it's blue, I'm going to score 4. If it's red or yellow, I get 8. If it's green, I'm going to get 12. Which would be.
Flipping the top of the deck.
And here we go. It is
Blue, so it's 4.
I get 4 points. And keep in mind there are twice as many blue cards as there are any other cards in the deck. All right, so this is probably not going to work out for me, given what I just drew.
So now I'm going to play 4 points for each card in a group of all 1s. And there is another 1, and the 1 on the card I played, so that's 8 points.
Well, I have got to play this. We have one more card after this, right?
I have 2, you have 1 after that.
Right. All right, I'll play this. I'm going to score the number on the cards in an eligible 3-card run with a 5 in it. So, again, I'm going to score 0.
Oh, that's a nice card, but the run didn't come in. So you can do what Keith just did and set something else, or you can hold it for another hand for the next round. So you had 0 there. 2 zeros this hand. That's a bit unusual, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the cards will score something.
You're gonna move those 2 cards up to the side of your other card, Dad.
2 cards up. What do you mean, like that?
Yeah, up there.
Oh, yeah. So
See, then we're going
We're
that
off-
way.
we're off
and
screen, but-
No,
this
it's
way.
not off screen.
It's not off screen? Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. That's not great here, but I'm going to...
Only 1 red card.
What's that?
Only 1 red card out.
I know. That's that's actually affecting my choices. I'm probably going to hold something for the next round. And so the last one you played was blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cards that respond based on what was played last. and stuff.
15-second pitching rule. Come on, man.
Yes, I know. We got to speed up. Yeah, I'll play this. So this is 2 points for each card, a group of all non-blue cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that aren't blue. So it's 8. You can usually do better with that if I had held on, but
This
I
card.
just, there I get.
All right. This
don't
is
have
my
to
ship has
go on.
finally come in.
Ooh,
I'm going to play this, the one that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Except now this time I've got 5 cards. I got 6, 1, 1, 1, 1.
wow.
So that is a 20-point score.
Oh my goodness, Keith got 20 with his last play. That's going to be hard to beat. Okay.
So as long as he doesn't get better than 20 or better, I'm going
Yeah,
to get
you
that
get
point.
one victory
I'll
point
get
for
1
sure.
point. I'm
And,
probably going to lose. I am going to lose the game, but I will. It'll be a
yeah,
tie.
it'll be a
One-
victory point for each of us.
Each of us will get a victory point, which is a not a bad outcome. Assuming that Mike doesn't have a rabbit up his sleeve.
Yeah, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, it's the
Gonna
best
draw
I
your
can do
cards too, Dan.
Right, I do need.
So I'm going to play this one. 2 points for each card in a group of all odd numbers. Well, itself, it's on an even number, but odd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10 points. At least isn't bad.
So Mike's
So
going to
that's
win the game.
I add up the totals. 24, 42 to 29. So I get the victory point for the most, and Keith gets the victory point for the one card that's highest. So we're tied at 1 victory point each.
So we hold on to our hand.
Yep, hand will be down here.
And we shuffle these all together.
I got to get a fifth card there. And you shuffle the rest back into the deck, and we've already got a starting hand. Maybe we plan to save some. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see.
And first person that wins 2, right? We play 2 games in the
We'll
highest.
play at least 2 because, as I mentioned earlier, the start player is only seeing 1 card, the starter card plus his card. So he's seeing 2 cards. The second player will see 5 more cards during the game than the start player will. So what we do is we like to balance how many times you're start player. So I would be start player on this one, even though shuffling. But that's all you do. You don't deal anymore because we have our hands.
Here's our start card. Well, this game will go quicker. It'll be less explanation. We'll
Yes,
just play.
I'll go first. Okay, I'm going to play this one that says score 5 points, score an additional 5 points if this card is played right after a red card. Well, I didn't manage that, but it is 5 points, so I will take that.
I'm going to play this card, which scores the highest number on a red card, which
Whoa,
is 9.
yeah, that's good. That's certainly a good synergy.
You got a phone call coming in.
Yeah, I do. Let me just turn this off.
It's Don King.
Yes, it is. It's Dan King.
Oh, Dan King. Oh, sorry.
Who actually I sent him. I think this was on. I'm hoping he's found it. Maybe he wants to be on with us. I don't think so. Okay.
He thinks it's a call-in show. Hey, Dan. This is Dan from Chicago. What do you say, Dan?
That's right.
Go ahead.
So you got the 9.
I got the
which
9,
is,
yeah.
Very good. So sometimes things work out that way, and that's the synergy of the game is pretty interesting when that happens. So you drew your
I drew my card, yeah.
card. I've got mine here now. Ooh, that's good actually. So I'm going to play this one. Oh yes, I'm going to play 4 points for each card in a group of all red odd numbers. So red odd, red odd. So I get 8 points for that play.
All right. I am going to play this blue 8. 4 points for each card in the group of all 8s. That's only the 1 8.
So that's 4.
So that's 4 for me. Ah.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'll play this one. 4 points for each card in a group of all 9s. We have 2 9s, so that's 8.
I cannot believe you just played that. Because
Uh-oh, you got something good?
I will play this, score 5 points for each card in a 3-card run of the same color. You just played the 9. I got the 8 and the 10.
Of the same color. That's 15
Bing, bing, bing,
points
bing,
for
bing.
Keith. I missed that. I should have been watching for that. The run cards are potentially have a high
Dangerous.
range. They're a little difficult to pull off.
Especially the same color.
Same color is tough. There's one that's all different colors, which is tougher. There's a lot of different ways of scoring runs. So I'm up.
So and 15 is the high right now, right? High score.
15 is the high. That's the highest score so far. Looking good. I think we want to do this too. So we're going to get 3 points for each card in a group of all reds. So we have 2 reds here, so that's 6 points. And we're up to the last play for me, and 2 more for Keith.
I don't have a lot of options here.
So it's not a long game, but you have some interesting things to think about and decide.
I believe I will play. I believe this is correct. 2 points for each card in a group of numbers that are different. So basically, I'm going to get.
How many different numbers are there in all these cards?
Right. So we get a 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 12, right? That's 6.
6 points.
And
That's
for each,
12
I get
points.
12
Wow.
points.
So he got a 15 and a 12. 15 is still his highest one. Now,
So this is going to be each of our last plays.
this will. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get there for it. Okay, so here we go. We're playing 4 points for each card, a group of all 7s. There are 3 7s, which makes 12 points for me there. But that guarantees Keith the biggest single play of the game, so there's a victory point for him before he even plays his last card.
And I believe. How many blues are there? Oh, we got a bunch of blues. I guess this will score me the most.
Okay.
2 points for each card in a group of blues, and I get 10 points.
2, 4, 6, 8,
10.
10. Right, so 10 points to wrap it up. So we know that Keith's got the victory point for the highest single play. So it all comes down to who's got the total for the game. So there's 13, 28, 50 points for Keith. Ooh, that's a good score. 13, 21, 27. And I just have 39. So
I get
Keith
2
gets
victory
both
points.
victory points and wins the match 3-1. Now I'll tell you, if I had eked that out, we would be tied 2-2 in victory points. Then what you do is add the scores up. So Keith would have 29 plus 50, that's 79. And I would have 42 and 39, which is 81. So if I had been able to pull this off on the spots, I would have won the match on total points. So
But you didn't.
I did not.
I beat Mike at his own game. That's a
right.
great feeling.
Not unusual.
It's quite unusual.
There in the rule book, there's rules for an interesting way to play 3-player
And 4-player.
There's 2 different 4-player rules. There's a 4-player partnership, which I find very, very good, and there's a 4-player way to play where you're doing one-on-one games and you're playing off, sort of round-robin playoff series.
Super fun.
Yeah, it's just I'm very pleased, and you can say the official things about it, I guess, if you want.
Right. We will. So again, we'll make this available at Dice Tower West, March 8th through the 12th. That'll be the first time it's available. We're having a big tournament there, by the way, and with a special gilded version of the game, a golden version in an acrylic case signed by Mike for the winner of our tournament. So that'll be fun, and the game will be available as part of the Summer of Now, which will begin Memorial Day weekend. And that's about all we can say. I don't believe we have any web presence on it right now. So what you're seeing here on the YouTube channel is it. That's
Web presence coming soon.
Web presence is coming soon. Sam says so. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Anything you want to say to close this out?
Well, I've just been very pleased with it. It's the game that I wanted it to be, and I'm glad I spent 7 years until I felt it was right. And I'm really looking forward to showing people. If you like it, I think you will find many ways to play, and you can play with anybody. I mean, it's easy to learn, and it's rich. It's a rich game in thought. So
Terrific. Hey, thanks for making the trip down here to join us today.
anytime. Thank you very much. Also.
So
Thank
next
you.
week we will do it's our big game festivities. We have we of course can't call it the you know what because of licensing rules, but we will have Philadelphia and Kansas City with Second Season Express using the prototype idea that I had for with like action figures on the team sheets. That was posted in the latest blog, the Play Connect, on the Play.com website. We will also do our All-Pro All-Star game with Fury football, so it should be a big afternoon or evening of football fun.
Is that going to be flag football, by the way?
Well, theirs is going to be flag football. The real thing is, I don't get the whole. They're having kick-tack-toe for crying out loud. That's the NFL's Pro Bowl. Kick-tack-toe? Seriously? All right. We're going to have something more traditional. Although it'll be different. We're going to play Fury football with the all-pro players. It'll be a real football game, though. So that'll be happening next Thursday at our normal time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Play Games YouTube channel. Till then, have a great weekend. Enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy your games, and we'll see you next week here on the Play Space Live.
Bye, everybody.